So you think people are watching you. Not just watching, but judging you. Every move you make, every word you say, every mistake you make, you feel like someone is keeping score. You walk into a room and suddenly you become hyper-aware of everything. How you're standing. What you're doing with your hands. Whether you look confident or completely lost. And in your mind, everyone notices. But here is the truth that most people take years to understand. Nobody cares. Not in a harsh way. Not in a depressing way. In a freeing way. Think about your own life for a second. How often do you sit down and think deeply about someone else's small mistakes? That awkward thing they said. The weird way they walked. The moment they embarrassed themselves. You don't. Because you're too busy thinking about your own life. Your own problems. Your own insecurities. Your own future. And just like you, everyone else is doing the exact same thing. They are not focused on you. They are focused on themselves. That person you think is judging you is actually wondering if you are judging them. That confident-looking guy you see is probably overthinking something you didn't even notice. That girl who seems perfect is probably worried about something completely invisible to you. Everyone is in their own world. And once you understand this, something powerful happens. You stop performing. Because most people are not being themselves. They are performing. Trying to say the right things. Trying to act the right way. Trying to impress people who are not even paying attention. And the more you try to impress, the more unnatural you become. Because trying too hard creates pressure. And pressure creates awkwardness. You start thinking before every sentence. You filter everything. You hesitate. And instead of connecting with people, you create distance. But the moment you stop trying to impress, everything changes. You become relaxed. You speak naturally. You laugh without forcing it. You exist without overthinking every detail. And people notice that. Not because you are trying to stand out, but because you are not trying at all. There is something powerful about someone who is comfortable with themselves. Someone who doesn't need approval. Someone who is not constantly seeking validation. That kind of energy is rare. And people are drawn to it. Not because it is perfect, but because it is real. The truth is, people don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. They remember how you made them feel. Not how perfect you looked. Not how impressive you sounded. But how real you were. And here is where it gets interesting. The more you try to impress people, the less they trust you. Because it feels like you are hiding something. Like you are trying to be someone else. But when you are just yourself, even with your flaws, people relax around you. Because now they feel like they can be themselves too. You give them permission to drop the act. And that creates real connection. But most people never reach this point. Because they are too busy chasing approval. They want everyone to like them. They want to avoid rejection. They want to be seen as smart, funny, attractive, successful. So they adjust themselves constantly, changing their personality depending on who they are around, agreeing with things they don't believe in, laughing at jokes they don't find funny, pretending to be interested in things they don't care about. And slowly they lose themselves, not all at once, but piece by piece, until one day they don't even know who they really are. And the worst part is, it doesn't even work. Because you can't please everyone. No matter how hard you try, someone will always misunderstand you. Someone will always dislike you. Someone will always judge you. And that's okay. Because their opinion is not your responsibility. You don't need everyone to like you. You just need to be okay with yourself. And that's where real confidence comes from. Not from being better than everyone else. Not from having everything figured out. But from being comfortable in your own skin. From knowing that you are enough as you are. And here's something most people don't realize. When you stop trying to impress everyone, you actually become more attractive. Not just physically, but as a person. Because now your actions are not driven by fear. They are driven by authenticity. You say what you mean. You do what you want. You express yourself without overthinking. And that kind of freedom is powerful. It makes you stand out without even trying. Because most people are still stuck in their heads. Still worrying about what others think. Still holding back. But you are not. And that difference is noticeable. Now, this doesn't mean you should ignore growth. Or stop improving yourself. Being yourself doesn't mean staying the same. It means being honest about who you are while working on becoming better. It means growing without pretending. Improving without losing your identity. Because there is a difference between growth and performance. Growth is real. Performance is fake. Growth takes time. Performance is instant. Growth builds confidence. Performance builds anxiety. So focus on growth. Not on impressing people. And here's something practical you can start doing right now. Next time you feel yourself overthinking, pause. Ask yourself one simple question. What would I do if I didn't care what anyone thinks? And then do that. Not in a reckless way, but in an honest way. If you want to speak, speak. If you want to stay quiet, stay quiet. If you want to laugh, laugh. If you don't find something funny, don't fake it. Just be real. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Because you are not used to it. You are used to filtering yourself. You are used to adjusting. But over time, it becomes natural. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Until one day you realize something. You are no longer trying to impress anyone. You are just living. And that's when everything changes. Because life becomes simpler. You stop worrying about small things. You stop replaying conversations in your head. You stop fearing judgment. And you start enjoying the moment. You become present. And that presence makes you more confident. More relaxed. More attractive. Not because you are trying to be, but because you are not trying at all. So remember this. Nobody cares as much as you think they do. And that's not a bad thing. That's your freedom. Because it means you can be yourself. Without fear. Without pressure. Without constantly looking over your shoulder. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need to impress anyone. Just be real. Because in a world where everyone is trying to be someone else, being yourself is your biggest advantage. And once you understand that, you stop chasing attention. And you start attracting it naturally.